So, got my one wheel here. This is a new one. And anyways, happy New Year, 2023. All geared up, pads, elbow pads. I don't know if you can see all this stuff. We're all ready to go. We'll be talking about the new one wheel, or the new electric unicycle. We'll be talking about my health, how things are going. We'll be talking about what's going to go on this year, what my plans are, what I'm going to be focusing on. And I'm going to try not to get too much wind noise. I'm not going to be going too fast. I'm pretty new on this wheel. It's a bigger one. I'll meant to talk more about that, why I'm going for this new style here. But let's get riding, and we'll be doing some talking and riding. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So I should be mostly sticking to trails. I might have to be on the road for just a little bit up here for a second, just to get to the trails again. But yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully I don't bail. I'm not using a handheld camera because I'm not there yet. I'm not that confident. I'm not super confident on these guys just yet. I'm confident enough to. There's a plane, look at that. Airport's right there. I'm confident enough to go on the roads a little bit. You know, I can get started standing up and whatnot, but I prefer holding on to something. It's always a little easier, but I can kind of do everything a little bit. I'm just not great at it. And everything, like getting through this type of stuff shouldn't be a problem. Got it. Made it. A little sketchy. So I get a little nervous when I get into situations like that. But for the most part, everything's good. I'm not going really fast yet. This thing can do like 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. I'll talk about that in a bit. So it's faster than I am, or I probably will ever be. Fellow there. So let's talk about the wheel. Why did I get the new wheel? So I had the other one, the Begode Tesla T3. I bought that brand new, and it was kind of going to be my learning wheel. And I was learning on it. I did some kilometers on it, but it's pretty much like brand new. Excuse me. And then this other wheel came up. This is kind of the wheel I eventually wanted to get to over time. Here we go through the mud. There's some mud, sketchy mud. Okay, let me get through this here. Okay, this is the worst part. All right, now we're back on the trails. And so I eventually wanted to get to a wheel like this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go suspension wheel or not, but this one came up. It's not a suspension wheel, but it's definitely a much more advanced wheel, or I shouldn't say more advanced, but it's a much more aggressive wheel than the first one I got. First one did up to about 50 kilometers an hour. Excuse me. And should have gone the other way, but we'll go this way. And you know, it was pretty powerful. It had a 1500 watt hour motor, had a 2000 watt motor, 1500 watts of battery power, which is good. You know, it can go pretty far. This one, and it was a 16-inch wheel. This one is a 20-inch wheel. So not quite as nimble. You got to really lean into things a little more. You got to put more, you know, body language into it. It's not as responsive, but once you learn how to use it, this thing can really go accelerate and go up to, like, you know, easily 70 kilometers an hour without having to worry too much about it cutting out on you. And then this one also has about 3100 or 3200 watt hours of battery life and a 2800 watt hour motor. So there's some significant improvements in terms of how far I can go and how fast I can go. And for me, it's not necessarily about speed. It's going to be about comfort, you know, being able to roll over stuff with a bigger wheel and not feel it as much, because I do want to do more trails and things like this. I want to eventually take it off-roading, like on mountain bike trails, not Diamondback type ones, but like, you know, cool trails with my friends who have mountain bikes. All that kind of stuff. I want to ride this as much as possible. Hello. Meet lots of people on these trails. Just don't run them over. And a nice Christmas tree there. Hopefully this video isn't too shaky because my legs are doing most of the suspension. And so hopefully the video is pretty stable. I'm trying to keep my head relatively level. Hi there. On your left. Got some doggies. Yeah, these trails were underwater a little while ago, so I couldn't do this. Just recently, hopefully this isn't underwater. good. Yeah, we're good. So, yeah, so that's enough about the wheels. I'll probably do a B-roll. Oh, there we go, there's a bump. I'll probably do a B-roll type thing where I show the two different wheels side by side so you can get an idea of how different they really are in size and everything. So here's a good hill. I can just climb this thing like no problem. Just lean into a little bit and you're up and you're over. It barely even, well, it doesn't even slow down. So, all right. So, my health. What's going on with the issue, the mental, just nothing better way to say mental illness I went through. That's nothing, no better way to describe it. The anxiety, the panic attack. Since I got on the medication, I haven't had any extreme panic attacks. There's moments where I have some anxiety, but they're not too bad. They're controllable. I've been playing around with medications. Well, I gotta be careful here. This is slippery. All right, here we go. So we're going to go under this bridge and then to another set of trails. And this is an area where I walk the dogs all the time. It's kind of fun. And this is an area where a lot of street people hang out too. So you never know what you're going to see under here. Well, they got to do something. They got somewhere they have to go, right? So we're up here. Okay, so now this is where I usually take the dogs for a walk. From the parking lot over there, which is the church, you can't see it because of the building, all the way to where I'm going to go and come back is about 2 miles. So it's a nice walk, and it's really in a nice area. You'll see it as we go. All right, so medications. I was on these SSRIs, which are statin regulators, and they're antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, but they made me feel a little off. I just didn't feel right, you know. And then I was also on like a Valium, I forget what it's called, diazepam. And so I was taking all of those initially, and then I weaned myself off the diazepam. I was just taking the statins, or not the statin, the serotonin. Hi there. The serotonin regulators, the SSRIs, serotonin regulators. And then I got off the morning one I was taking, because that one takes so longer to get in and out of your system. I want to get off of that. And then basically I'm off of all of that stuff now. Just recently for the last 2-3 days, but I am on a sleeping medication. So those other ones were supposed to help me with sleep, but they didn't do a great job. Not really. They didn't do a fantastic job. So my mom is like a walking pharmacy. She's got all kinds of stuff. And I said, I need something good for sleeping. And so it's not in any of the SSRI classes. It's not a benzo, whatever, the Valium type class. It's its own thing. It's the sleeping medication, and I just wanted to be on that and see how it goes. Just get good sleep, and I've been getting good sleep. I haven't been having anxiety, but what I have been having, one of the reasons I wanted to get off of these medications, is I've been having shortness of breath, and I don't know if it's from the medications. I don't know if it's from the cold. I don't know what it's from, but I feel short of breath. It doesn't take much for me to get short of breath. Even walking up a flight of stairs, I can feel it sometimes. And it takes me a while to catch up. Sometimes, like, if I'm doing a workout, I have to start slow, but I'm usually pretty good by the end of it. So, here's some people. And so I'm concerned about that. There's something called walking asthma. It could be something like that. It could be something so simple, just some sort of, kind of almost like, I don't know, like an asthma type effect that's going on with my lungs even. So my dad has CPOD, and I'm actually taking one of his puffers. I take a puffer in the morning. Again, the parent pharmacy, not a bad thing to have. I'm taking a puffer in the morning. It's basically, it just opens up your lungs, right? It's a dilator of your lungs. So I've been doing that in the morning and evening, and that seems to help. Because when I feel short of breath, even sometimes when I'm sleeping, because I have sort of a sleep apnea thing, I'll wake up short of breath because as I'm falling asleep, I'm not breathing very deeply, and I get short of breath. Once I fall asleep, I tend to be fine. It's just getting to sleep. I can wake up short of breath, and it keeps waking me up before I actually get into deep sleep, which really sucks, right? Obviously. So yeah, that's what's going on, but I'm off all the meds except for the sleeping pill. And I think that's great. The other thing that, the reason I wanted to get off the meds, it's because I lost my taste. And again, I don't know if it's from the cold. I don't know what it's from, but these medications can affect taste and give you a bitter taste. I for sure was getting a bitter taste in my mouth. I for sure had loss of taste, kind of around the same time. I don't know. Sometimes things aren't coincidences, sometimes they are. And so I wanted to get off those medications and see what happens with my taste. So the sleeping pill, as far as I know, doesn't do anything with taste. And so I'm hoping that after these drugs completely get out of my system, that my taste will return. Yeah, so that's with the mental health. Physical health, what's going to happen? Well, I just, honestly, this is a bit of an eye-opener. You know, as much as I love weightlifting, and I'm going to continue to doing it and continue bodybuilding. I don't know about shows. I mean, I say that year after year. I'm not doing any more shows. But this last show really just destroyed me. And it was the thing that was the final straw. There was other things that were going on, but it was the thing that, I have to turn around here. I'm not very good at turning around. So we'll just do this. Yeah. Okay, so it was the thing that kind of pushed me over the edge, I think. Just the amount of stress I was putting on my body, taking it to those low body fat levels, not sleeping much at all, you know, just not getting much nutrition, well, as good as nutrition as you can get on, like 1,500 calories a day, right? I mean, it's pretty tough. So, yeah. So, I'm going to focus on just having fun at the gym, not worrying about what I weigh, how lean I am, you know, just eating well. I'm going to be basically doing more or less a carnivore diet, you know, with, you know, it's not 100% strict, but really focusing on just meats and dairy, eggs, you know, the occasional cheat once in a while, but really trying to stick closely to that diet and that just get out all possible toxins, because meats really do agree with me. I've done it before. And I have no problem with just eating meats. I feel way better. Digestion is way better. Really don't have any bloat or gas when I eat meats and stick with them. So we'll be doing that. We'll be hitting the gym, you know, 5-6 days a week. I might drop down a few pounds because I'm not going to be overly concerned with numbers at the gym. And if I miss a day here or there, I'm going to just try and enjoy my time with family and everything, and just get out on this unicycle, electric unicycle, because it's fun. You get outside, you just rip around, you're outside in nature. I mean, what more fun is that? I'm still gonna ride my e-bike, but right now with the way my lungs feel, the idea of pedaling really hard is just not conducive to how I'm feeling. So I'm glad I have this, because I can still get out, hit the trails, have a good time, get outside, think about things, just, you know, get by being on myself a little bit in nature. That's so healthy for you, right? So that's kind of the plan. That's where we're at. And I'll be keeping you informed on everything. And if I can put some B-roll in here for some of the stuff that I was talking about, like my electric unicycles, show you what they look like, and I'll do that too as well. All right, so I'll wrap this up and stop somewhere, I think, and turn off this video when I can, because I gotta take my gloves off and stuff to do that. But yeah, just using camera glasses. Maybe I'll take a picture of that and show you what they look like. But they're pretty cool. No motion stability on them though, unfortunately. So the stability is just all happening with my body, if there is any of that anyways, right? All right, so while I figure out how to stop, find something to, but you know what, I'll just stop and start on my own. Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.